and welcome to Sports Counsel, your playbook for all things sports. I am your host Matt, and I'm here with G and Gemmar for this episode of the show. In the spirit of Halloween, we share some of the scariest fantasy football stories that still haunt our fantasy managers' dreams. Plus, we have a special guest to recap Week 8 in the Listener League and reveal our spooky Halloween-themed starts and sits for Week 9. Today is October 28th, 2025, and this is episode 193 of the show. Woo!
Ooh, spooky.
Oh, it's the Halloween episode, boys.
That was a very impressive work you did there, Matt.
I think I kind of lost it at the end there. I was getting very British or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was
First take is kind of crazy though.
First take, yep. Everything's first take here.
Impressive, exactly.
Yeah, you can tell too.
Glad to be back again though. Maybe you should
Yes.
stop calling me special guest.
Oh, I didn't call you a
Call me
special
regular?
guest this time.
Hey,
There you go.
you hear that? You hear that,
3
listeners?
times. Yeah, you're no longer special here, Gemmar. Sorry to say.
No, I'm just regular like you guys now.
But we are Sports Counsel. This is our show. And G, where can the people find Sports Counsel?
I would love to tell the people where they can find us. We're Sports Counsel. We're on all your favorite social media platforms. Go ahead, go to the search bar, look up sports_counsel. It can't be easier for you. We're on all your social media. So I'm talking Instagram, Threads, Twitter, X, TikTok, Facebook, all the same handle. That's sports_counsel. And then in the bio, you'll find our Discord link where you can go ahead and join. Come chat it up with us. And if you have any other questions, always with their starts and sits, trades, whatever it is, that's where you're going to hit us. And with that being said, sports_counsel, all your social media, go follow.
Follow, discuss, enjoy our conversations there. We have a super fan, Bonnie. Quick shout out to her. She finally joined the Discord. She's been following all our social media platforms, asking all the questions, and we've answered every week. So now she's joined the Discord, and I assume so far she's been a happy customer. So,
Hey,
there you
shout
go.
out Bonnie.
I can't help
Shout
my
out
own
Bonnie.
team. Can't help my own team, but we'll help Bonnie's.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that in a second. We have our Week 8 Listener League recap, where we talk about all the results of our own Sports Counsel Listener League that we do with the fans. If you're not interested in listening to our fantasy league, we get it. It's about 15 minutes of discussion there, so you can go ahead and skip ahead. But we do have a very special guest recapping this week. No, it is none of us, but I did get a chance to talk to this very special guest earlier in the show, so why don't you take a look at that? All right. This is a very special Week 8 Listener League recap, and to start it off, we brought in one of our fellow podcasters who had a very big day in this Listener League this weekend. Mr. Nando, how are you doing?
Yo, what's up? I'm doing pretty good knowing I whooped some ass this week.
Whoops,
Which
some
is-
ass you did.
Kind of crazy because I'm pretty sure I didn't have a whole starting lineup until like an hour before when you told me to.
I think I told you an
in.
hour after the game started. I was like, Nando, you actually have a chance here. Why don't you wake up?
Yeah, I didn't realize that I had a couple people out. And then I think I picked up some players like Chimere Dyke, I think that's his name, off
Unfortunately,
the waivers last minute.
you better hope that's his
And-
pronunciation.
Or if I say the other one, either or is pretty outlandish name.
Well, why don't you go ahead and start off with your matchup for the recap then?
Yeah. So this week I played King Midi Whoop'em, and which is ironic because he got whooped. And I had a 163 and he had 140, which honestly I didn't really expect my team to score so high. I think out of all my teams that I'm in for all my fantasy leagues, I thought this was probably one of the worst ones.
I mean, you had Bo Nix who went off. Josh Jacobs was fine, but James Cook, 33 points. Kareem Hunt with 2 touchdowns. I mean, I don't even know how that keeps happening. And then Midi, he had JT, And he had like 3 touchdowns, I think, but that wasn't enough.
But also he had Shakir with 20 points, which, I mean, let's be real. He's no threat considering.
Damn. I mean, he did do pretty well, though.
Yeah, this was his best game of the whole season, too.
He also ducked JSN and Puka, who were both on bye. So,
yeah, thank God. Again, thanks to you. This is why I'm sneaking into the playoffs so far.
got to be a good host and make sure everyone actually plays.
And then the second matchup we had was a fucking trash ass team, which fits his.
I didn't even know who you were looking at first. I was like, who is this? Oh, it's G.
With 89 points this week. And we had a 4 down syndrome with G Dot. Had 145 points, which honestly, if I was G, he still would have lost if Brees Hall didn't get 33 points, but I'd be pissed knowing that Brees Hall scored 33 on me this season.
Because he's never going to do that again, right?
Yeah, his last highest scoring game was against Dallas week 5.
Yeah.
And it's really not that hard to score that many points on the Dallas defense nowadays.
Exactly. And Christian McCaffrey, first bust game of the season, didn't even get 10 points. Quentin Johnston, 0 points. Judkins got hurt. Overall, just a shit show for G. And Steelers defense, -3 points. There's just not a single bright spot. Mahomes was good, Waddle was good, but I mean, there's a reason why he's under 90 points in a PPR league today.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy. And he had that rookie Houston running back on his defense.
Yeah,
scored
on the bench.
15 points. Then we had yourself, YMC3. Should I read the name?
Young Men's Club 3, younger than ever.
But you had 145 against J-Rock's E-Kittens, who had 106.
Definitely had a lot of players on bye. Definitely had a lot of players hurt. Nico was hurt. Pearsall keeps getting hurt. Hampton's hurt. So I did something on National Tight Ends Day. I started 2 tight ends. And Tucker Kraft went insane on Sunday night. And then Thursday night, kicked it off. Oronde Gadsden, the second. 18 points there. So, I mean, they really carried me. Drake May, Achan, they all did their job. Your boy, Nando Tet McMillan, finally had a good game. So, made it a very easy win.
I feel like McMillan has been pretty decent on PPR this season.
He's good, but you guys don't use him. This is his best week so far, and Bryce Young needs to, when he gets back, he needs to use him. Tell him that I need him to fucking throw it to the tall dude.
True. Well, I mean, being down by more than 30 points, I would expect to throw the ball, not run the ball.
Exactly. Dalton's kind of a shitter.
Yeah, he plays so bad. It made me realize how
much better Bryce Young is.
Yeah. I didn't think it can get worse than him, but then I saw this game. I'm pretty sure after the second touchdown, I turned off the TV.
Fair enough.
All right. And then we had Better Women Respecters with 111 points going up against GMC3. Garbage than ever.
Garbage than ever, yep. That's a
with
residential
132
listener.
Points.
Yeah, that's our residential listener, Mickey Youngboy. He's a threat now because he started the season, 0-3, 0-4. And now this is his second or third straight win. He got Ladd, Rasheed, finally came back from suspension. Addison's good. McLaurin's back, right? Gav had 0 from Marquise Hollywood Brown, 1 from Jordan Mason. Gav's been really inconsistent so far.
Yeah, let's all hope that he doesn't make the playoffs.
Still hating.
Always. Sometimes I literally just go on the app just to see his games, just to hate watch his games.
You don't go on the app to switch your own players, but you're going to go and watch Gav's downfall.
If I already know that I'm not making playoffs, if I'm 3-5, 3-6, now it's a little different because I'm 4-4, so I can actually have a little bit of hope. But when I have 0 hope left, there's certain teams that I just have to hate watch. As long as they don't win, it's a win in my books.
I have a feeling that one of the next matchups you're gonna do involves one of those teams.
Did he change his name?
Yes.
Oh, God. No wonder I didn't recognize him in this league. But we had B Chang with his second win of the year with 110 points going up against, some would say, my nemesis. Second best to me in fantasy with Dylan with 82 points. And I kind of feel bad for him considering Bijan let him down.
There's so many disappointing weeks. Like I feel like a lot of teams scored under 100 points. This is like, I haven't seen this many in a while, but Dylan, no Bijan, no Baker, and then I don't know why he started Justice Hill. I thought I told him not to, but yeah. I mean, he was facing the bye NATO. He had David Montgomery out, Travis Hunter out, Devontae Adams out, Brock Bowers out. So not much you can do, but Bryant, second win of the season. Good job, buddy.
It's kind of crazy. Second win. Could have been me. I couldn't lose to a 1-5 team, to be honest.
You're getting close to our rivalry matchup in a couple weeks, so might wanna tone it down. You don't know.
True. And then the last matchup we had was Josh 0 with 138 going up against Mr. Celtics with 130, which I believe might have been the closest matchup we had this week.
Seems like it. And Saquon went off for Celtics, but Jake Ferguson on National Tight Ends Day dropping a 0. That really hurts when you have a close matchup there. I mean, Josh keeps winning. He's 7-1, and he's first place. I don't know if we can have a listener win this league. That's just not allowed.
Which, I mean, I'm not hating. You know, I don't have the best team, but looking at some of his players, it's kind of like, how are you 7-1? You know?
Yeah, I mean, Judy, he also matched Ferguson with a 0 on Josh's team. And like Chuba, he wasn't very good, right?
Michael
Igbuko is
Pittman
not,
coming out.
yeah. Like, I could see it. I mean, Jamar Chase is still pretty good. Josh Allen's pretty good. But enjoy your time at the top. We'll see if it stays in the playoffs or if it's like a one and done kind of thing.
True. Just gotta watch out for those people who sneak into the playoffs.
Like yourself.
Yep. Now looking back, considering I have Josh Jacobs, James Cook, and Amon, I feel like I have a pretty decent running.
All right, I'm going to stop telling you to set your lineup then.
But it does feel good to finally be top scorer of this league.
This is your first time ever doing it, right?
Ever is kind of crazy. I don't think it's ever. This season, yes.
Okay. Well, I think this is the first time at least you get your high scoring topic. I think we instituted that late last season. So now the cards have finally shifted in your favor. So what is your high scoring topic, Nando? I'm afraid.
I think I decided to talk about what does Gab do for work.
If this is an inside joke for all you listeners out there, for those of you who don't know, all the podcasters have a group chat, and we don't know exactly what Gab does for a living. We all do jobs outside of this podcast, and I think we've talked about it from time to time, or within ourselves. But we personally don't even know what Gab does for a living. I wish we had Gab on to tell us, because all we can do is speculate at this point. But I mean, what's your theory, Nando?
Well, I mean, considering his dad is in the military, or was, right?
I think.
I have a big feeling that he has something to do with the Secret Service.
Why specifically the Secret Service and not like...
Or something, maybe like an FBI. I don't know. I'm not really in tune on what different positions are. Maybe he's a spy. Who knows? So goes a couple weeks, couple months, just disappears when he used to always respond fast.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I insulted him in the chat, right away a reply.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just been radio silence for some reason.
You think he's on like a secret mission to Bosnia or something?
Probably. But also, I remember, I forget, I'm pretty sure we were doing a podcast.
Yeah.
This was either before we started or after. But he had asked, like, you, or I
Uh-huh.
forget who he asked for, like, a recommendation, like if they had called you or something like that.
Oh, yeah. That was like years ago, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like
I never got
that
that call,
seems
by the way. Did you get a
awfully.
call?
I don't think he put me. I don't think he wanted to put me. I don't think he. I feel like he wouldn't be in the position he is now if they would have called me.
I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like he can't be a spy because, I don't know. I feel like if he was a spy, they would ask us to erase this podcast by now because fucking put him in a bad light. And he said some very wild shit on this podcast. It's not very spy-like. So, I mean,
True, but also a spy is in disguise. So what if you want people to think that he's still normal?
that's true.
Living
That's
a normal life.
That's actually a good point. Then he should just tell us a fucking job like he's doing then.
And also, I thought about maybe he's in the military or, a Marine.
Hmm.
But those people, they have time to respond. There's no way that he's does not have access to his phone at all.
It's true.
And I feel like he would tell us if that was the case. But
That
the
he
fact
works
that
for
he
the
doesn't
Marines.
tell us, yeah, it makes it that much more suspicious.
What if he's like a waiter or something?
A waiter?
He just works like long hours or some shit.
True, that can also be a possibility. But where's the fun in that?
Well, this is just a mystery until Gav ever confirms. And we'll redirect this question back to the group and see what they believe. But it is certainly a mystery that we can't even figure out. So maybe maybe the fans out there, maybe you can go and harass Gav for a little bit and figure it out.
True, and I'm pretty sure. Do you even know where he's at right now?
I know where he's at. I won't dox him, but I know where he is right now.
All right, well, at least we know his whereabouts, or he might be lying to you. He might be
Potential
different country.
whereabouts. Potential.
Yeah. Or who knows? Maybe he was one of those the people that robbed the what's it called, the loo.
We're gonna put his name on there now. We're gonna speculate that.
Yeah, maybe he did
All
go
right.
radio silence for a little bit, and then all of a sudden these jewels go missing.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Nando, for that recap, and now linking Gav to a heist in France somehow. I don't know how we got to that, but here we are.
Well, hopefully, I get another question in the upcoming weeks.
I very much fear that you will come up with something much worse than this.
Well, for the listeners, let's pray that I do end up coming back for the question of the topic of the day.
We'll see. But thank you, Nando. We're going to bring it back to the podcast.
All right, see you guys.
All right. Thank you so much, Nando, for coming on during that recap.
Like a
Great,
ghost of the past haunting us or something there.
When he had that first listener league topic, he had to come back on. He was just waiting for his moment, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'm happy I didn't have to, join in for that recap. As you've heard, it's not going well here, so let us move forward and onwards, huh?
Jamar, any comments?
Look, this year could be better. Same with G, but
What the fuck? Fuck
it's all
you.
about It's all about looking forward. It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't say give G a motivational fucking speech, bro. Just said comment on the
It's
week.
been a rough.
You could have gone a very different route there, Jamar. I mean, Gav blasted G,
Look.
and you lost to him in the championship last year. But I
Look,
mean,
we stay humble for future considerations.
Yeah, I hope you don't forget
Yeah,
that.
we want-
I hope you don't forget the ring.
We want good karma over here. You know what I'm saying?
well, going back to the listener league topic of the week, Nando did want us to speculate a little bit on Gav's job and what he does for a living. I already gave
I
my
miss you, Gav.
answer. Miss you, Gav. Shout out to him. I'm
Fuck
sure he's
you,
working
Gav.
hard, whatever he's
Fuck
working.
you for introducing me to Gemmar.
G's in a very unpleasant mood today. Possessed by the spirit of losing.
Yeah, I'm like Frankenstein right now.
Okay, so what do you think Gav's job is? I already said waiter, so
I think he's a CIA agent.
that's
Ooh.
exactly what Nando said. I think no,
Or-
he said Secret Service.
Or if it wasn't that, he'd be like a male gigolo.
Male chick.
I knew you were gonna fucking say that. I don't know how I knew, but I knew you were gonna say some kind of fucking prostitution or some shit.
I mean, I don't know if you guys ever seen Gab before, but it's one of those things where, once you see him, you get interested. So I could definitely see him. He seems like the old school type of guy. Not an OnlyFans type of guy or anything. He definitely feels more of like I'm gonna do it the old fashioned way, get a corner, find something like that, and get active. Or that could be like the cover up for the CIA. You know what I mean? So it's like one or the other.
He's not texting because he's street walking. You mean you gotta keep off your phones?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
He probably has 3 phones. That's why he's a jiggle. He's got a.
It depends on who's calling him. There's probably like one that's like for like the more famous people that don't want to really be known, and then there's like one for like the usuals, and then one for like the CIA.
Oh, so he's
No,
both.
No, Gav does. I bet you he has a burner account somewhere. Like I can
For
count on
sure,
that.
for sure.
I would think like Gav. I think Gav's job. I feel like he would go along those lines of where like CIA agent, because he's just such a private person.
Mm-hmm.
I always ask him, "What you doing?" He's like, "Don't worry about it." I'm like, "All right, buddy. I just want to see how you're doing."
Yeah, he definitely seems like the type of guy to just join a Sports Counsel podcast just for a ploy.
Just as a cover.
Yeah,
As a cover up.
I
yeah,
knew it.
exactly.
He's
Should have known.
definitely a type of person to make his name Gav as an like alias.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You know his name Gav, right?
I've never met a guy before, so
Never.
Exactly.
I've never met one.
we're
Well-
on to this shit.
Yeah, we're on to you,
This is what-
Gav.
This is what happens, Gav, when you don't confirm your job. You get accusations of being a gigolo, being a con artist, being a waiter. I have no idea what you do, but now the people have an idea of you that, won't go away until you confirm it. So, there you go. All right, that was our Listener League recap. Thank you, Nando, again for coming on for that. And quite an interesting week so far. And we're going to go right into week 9 now with our starts and sits. This is a Halloween edition, very spooky. And, like we've done for the past couple years, we've made it very Halloween themed. And we're going to be kind of correlating all our starts and sits to the very spookiest time of the year. Ooh. Last week, I just want to give a quick recap there because we said that we'd shape up, and we did. We had a losing record last week, but we went 12-4 overall on our starts and sits.
Hell yeah!
Let's go.
Yes, 8-2 on the graphic. So that means Jamar, yes, you did get one right, I think. So
We're improving. We're
Congratulations.
improving, listeners.
you're back on
It's
the
all about
graphic.
improvement. It's all about improvement.
Improvement, slow and steady.
How'd the rest of us
From
do,
0
man?
Exact-
to 1. Glad you asked, G. You got every single pick right.
Oh.
So congratulations on that. I wish I could give you a reward or something, but I don't know what like Jamar, when he does really badly, he gets banned from the graphic. But what do you get when you like win? Do you want more players on the graphic? You want to choose who the graphic player is this week?
Yeah, I'll choose who the graphic player is this week for sure.
Okay, sounds good.
But let's get started. Why don't you guys give us a quarterback? Jamar, you were banned last week from doing quarterback talk. So welcome back this week.
Look,
What do you got for us?
If you say
I'm glad to be
Justin
back.
Fields,
now we're not doing that no more. Look, that was last week was Justin Fields' 1 week of heroics for the whole year. Thankfully, we won't be seeing that anytime soon. But who you are gonna sit is he'll have
You
a
mean
happy
start?
haunting Oh, you are gonna start. Sorry, you are gonna start. For instead of Trick, he's gonna treat you. He's gonna treat you versus the Dallas Cowboys. That's right. That old man walking Jacoby Brissett is gonna have a great time passing the ball against that Dallas defense, having the time of his life, giving nightmares to that Dallas secondary, especially with weapons like Trey McBride or reliable. It's been a pass heavy offense this past month because who's running the ball? I can't even name you anyone reliable. Bam Knight, you're not gonna give him the ball that many times.
Bam Knight is gonna be the starter this week.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not gonna give him the ball that many times for that much opportunity. You know, you want Jacoby to sling the ball. He's gonna sling it. They're gonna score, and he's gonna treat you well instead of trick you.
What if Kyler Murray starts instead? Is he still the start of the week? Or is he
No.
a trick?
No.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's the trick. Jacoby Brissett is the treat.
Interesting. All right. Well, I'm already ruling out that graphic. G, don't pick him for the graphic player then, because that's way too confusing.
Okay. Well, interesting pick by the guys here.
All right. And then I'm gonna go with my pick here. Jamar, you're already ruining it. You can't. You have to pick Jacoby Brissett as your start of the week. Oh boy. We might have to ban you again from the graphic. I have a much more reasonable player here, and that is Mr. Caleb Williams versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And yes, I get it. You've been burned for the last couple of weeks with Caleb. He had a great start to the season. He was, averaging QB1 numbers, and ever since 2 weeks ago, he was QB7 against New Orleans, or QB27 against New Orleans, QB20 against Baltimore, right? But against the Cincinnati defense, everybody's eating against the Cincinnati defense. They're allowing, I think, about 22 points per game to fantasy quarterbacks this season. And, it's not like Jacoby Brissett, who's a complete zombie out there, and, he's kind of rising from the grave in order to get the Cardinals some losses, because they could still lose. This is a young, strapping quarterback. He knows what he's doing. He's going to improve. I've seen a lot of criticism over the past couple of weeks with him, or at least today. It seemed like ESPN was like ripping him a new one with all of the criticism against him. But, it's just 2 games. He's looked significantly better under Ben Johnson, and he'll get it together. He'll be distributing out all the treats against Cincinnati this week because they literally can't stop anyone. They couldn't even stop a running back from throwing a touchdown pass against them. Caleb's better than a running back, right?
I don't know. We don't know that.
Maybe not confirmed, but we know that running backs can at least throw a touchdown pass. So if he's as good as a running back, maybe he can throw one against them.
I don't know. The way he looked last week, I couldn't confidently tell you he's better than all running backs available.
Well, start him.
Okay. Well, why don't you give us your back-to-back here?
All right. Well, I don't know if, this might not be the best one here because we're going back-to-back on Bears. And it's going to be DeAndre Swift versus the Cincinnati Bengals as my start of the week at running back. My second start of the week is also going to be Kimani Vidal versus Tennessee. So that's what you get. You get Swift, you get Vidal. They look good. That's all I can tell you. And anyone who's listened to the podcast before knows that I am not a Swift fan. I've hated him. And I said he was a guy to trade away in a couple weeks ago in our trade episode. But he's proved me wrong so far. He's been consistent. He's been a real treat to have on your fantasy team. And against the Cincinnati defense, who is, again, worst in the league in almost every category, but in running backs, they're allowing 132 yards per game to the running backs right now. That is a shit ton of yards.
Jeez.
Right there. And the second worst is Tennessee, who's allowing 119 yards per game. Breece Hall looked dead in the water. He looked like he was already, 6 feet under in the grave. But against Cincinnati, he scored 30 points. DeAndre Swift already looks good, so I can imagine what he does against the Cincinnati defense. And, these guys are not very well, they weren't drafted very high. In your fantasy leagues, Vidal, you can pick him up off waivers. So they're like, the little treats that you find at the bottom of your Halloween bag, right? And it's like a double stuff like Reese's, or it's like a big size, Reese's peanut butter cups. It's just like a real like asset to have on your team. And they're already good in in the mini version, but when you get that jumbo deluxe version, oh man, you're gonna be feasting tonight.
That sounds really good. You know what else sounds really good? When you ever take out, going back to your candy example here, in your bag, you take out something you've never seen it before. You're like, what am I looking at? You're like, I might just try it. Why not? Let's just see what this is about. You're like, damn, this is actually pretty good. That's like Tyrone Tracy this week. You're gonna get him. You'll be like, what am I getting here? I'm getting the replacement of an injured running back against the Niners for all right defense, kind of injured. It's just like, all right, I guess I'll take it. I mean, it tasted pretty good. It's not bad. It's sweet, right? It's got his upside. You know what I mean? That's Tyrone Tracy. He's gonna get all the passing catches. Dart loves to run around. He's going to have time. He's going to get a lot of checkdowns and stuff off. So I think this is a good matchup for him. Tracy's I think he came in the NFL as a wide receiver. That's like his whole little story. Now he's a running back. So I like what he has going. No Scatterbo. Obviously, he got put on IR. So it's not a bad matchup. I like it. And, why not? He's a waiver wire. So if you got a good priority, I would definitely, rip it here and go and grab Tyrone Tracy.
It looked like there was a spell on us cast with the 49ers defense where they just keep falling apart. And last week against the Texans,
Kyle Shanahan is evil. That's why he's done a great evil to the world.
What did he do?
He stopped Matt Ryan from getting a Super Bowl.
Matt Ryan stopped himself from getting the Super Bowl.
I love Kyle Shanahan. He's cursed since that day.
He's always been cursed, honestly. I think it's the whole Shanahan thing. But yeah, we look lost against Houston, and I don't think it gets better for us. We allowed Woody Marks to have his best week of the season. So, yeah, I could totally see Tyrone Tracy doing that.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go back-to-back here and jump right into my wide receiver. This is a blast from the past. This is Cooper Kupp this week against the Commanders. He's going to be like Freddy Krueger. You thought he was out. He comes right back out of nowhere. He's going to have, I think, almost, nice. I would consider like the closest thing to a Cooper Kupp legacy game this week. I'm almost guaranteeing it. He's going to have a big week. They're going to pass the ball a lot. Seattle has somehow destroyed their own run game in the sense of they don't know who's going to be running the ball. I don't think they care anymore. I think they're just like, we got JSN, Sam Darnold, and Cooper Kupp. We'll just pass the ball. So, fuck it. Let's pass the ball. And I think Cooper Kupp will get active. And, if there's any resemblance of a defense the Commanders have, they'll probably put Lattimore on, JSN, and he'll get torched. And whoever else they have after that will be on Cooper Kupp, and they can't guard him. So I really like the matchup this week. It's a horrifying defense out there, and they'll be haunted by the ghost of Cooper Kupp.
Damn.
I'm not just saying that because he's super white.
What? No one was thinking that, man.
No. I was just making sure.
Nah.
I'm sure someone was.
Segue, Jamar. Segue.
Speaking of who's not white, we're going to start.
It's like most NFL.
Speaking of someone who's not white,
you're going to start Brian Thomas Jr. versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes, I know Brian Thomas Jr. has had a horrifying, disgusting, scary start of the season, but come on off the bye versus a terrible, terrible team in the Raiders that scored 0 their last game. This is the week that, BTR and Trevor Lawrence, BTJ, I keep doing that, BTJ and Trevor Lawrence find their groove again and be what he was last season. And it's gonna be like Frankenstein's monster. It's alive! He's gonna be resurrected again to being that wide receiver one that you drafted so highly of, and this is the week to do it.
That was phenomenal. That was a great soundbite, catchphrase, whatever. It was very good.
He's a pro, man. He's a pro.
He's got it.
Well, I love that. And with that being said, it's my favorite part of the starts. It's our tight end touchdown guarantee.
Yes, sir.
Now this is like, your king size chocolate bar that you're getting. You know what I mean? This is the real deal right
Oh,
here. And we're going to start off with Jonnu Smith against the Colts.
Oh.
This is this is going to be a high scoring matchup. I don't think anybody's preparing to play defense here this Sunday, and I think the Colts will probably kill us. So they will be up by a lot, and we'll need to pass. And Jonnu Smith should be open. Colts defense not very good. We're not good enough to beat them. I think the old Bengals DC is their DC now, and we used to always actually somehow do good against them. So I just see a lot of horrific defenses. It's going to be like, one of those scary movies where just every time you look at the defense, someone's getting killed out there or they're getting, beat. So this is like one of those type of defensive matchups. So I like Jonnu Smith to get in the end zone.
Colts are allowing the third most points to tight ends. Also to add to your point there. So
Thank you.
you know who's allowing the fourth most points to tight ends? Washington.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Washington Commanders, and that's why when they play against the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday Night Football, A.J. Barner is going to fall into the end zone for a touchdown. He has actually been pretty good so far this season. You don't expect much from him. You didn't get a lot of hype from him or buzz. I think I heard of Elijah Arroyo before. JSN's obviously getting all the buzz, but A.J. Barner, he's had some great weeks. He was a tight end 1 week 5, tight end 8 week 4, and I think he's going to get it back going against the Commanders because one of their former Seahawks, Bobby Wagner, is the center of that defense. And honestly, Bobby Wagner was like the headless horseman of his day. He was terrifying. He was destroying and killing everybody in his wake in terms of the opposing offenses. But now he's playing kind of like, the headless horseman without a head. He's very old, he's very slow, and it doesn't seem like he knows where he's going. Because he doesn't have a head at this point. Travis Kelce was able to score a touchdown against him pretty easily. And Rashee Rice, I think, also got a touchdown. And I think there's a clip where Bobby Wagner just could not keep up with him. He shouldn't have been in coverage on Rice to begin with. But
Right? Like, what are we doing there?
The Washington Commanders are the oldest team in the NFL right now. Bobby Wagner is part of that, and it's not looking well for them. And I think the young A.J. Barner is going to get it done.
Man, that's a hell of a pick, man. We're going out there. We're going obscure. It's a
That
trick or treat.
confidence, newfound confidence in our 12-4 start. We're going right back to 4-12.
Jesus Christ, damn. Damn.
Getting haunted.
God. Well, I'm going to give myself a bailout here with the first sit of the week. I'm just going to go to old reliable. Who's Denver's defense playing? Oh, C.J. Stroud, the guy with no O-line? Oh, nice. That sounds easy enough. So, yeah, give me C.J. Stroud against Denver. I just don't see what his O-line can do. This is just like going to someone's house and getting, like, a fruit for, Halloween. Like, who wants that? Who wants this matchup? Who wants Denver? I don't. I'll just stay away from this house and go to the next one. There's so many other quarterbacks. If you're looking for a waiver wire, with the buys and everything, there's a lot going on. So if you're looking for a better start, maybe go to Brissett, but not Stroud.
Not bad. All right. Well, speaking of a good pass rush, another one is the New York Giants. They play against Mac Jones. If he plays, there's been speculation that Brock Purdy might play. So if Brock Purdy plays, you can start him. But if Mac Jones is under center against that New York Giants pass rush, you are going to sit him. Look, that New York Giants pass rush. Look, I feel like that whole team is gonna play with a fire in their heart, playing for their teammate Cam Scatterboo and Malik Neighbors. By the way, they're gonna have an emotional game where they're gonna play for their teammates after suffering a huge loss and injury. So I just feel like New York Giants are gonna play very inspired football, especially with a quarterback that's like immobile, and Mac Jones is gonna have a hard time if he plays.
Fair enough. But it seems like your quarterback start is a backup, and if his starter plays, he's a sit. And if your quarterback sit is a backup, but if his starter plays, you start. Just making sure I got that.
Look, we
I think that makes
look,
sense.
yeah, we're having,
Conditional
it's
flow
like,
chart here.
yeah, exactly.
All
A lot of
right.
ifs, a lot
Conditional
of what
flow
ifs.
chart.
Yeah. Do you take after your quarterback with the if man?
Oh, look, of course, of course I do.
Damn, that was a good one.
I'll probably go back to back here, and then just like G said in the beginning of starts and sits, we don't know we don't know the game plan of the Seahawks running RBs. So you're definitely gonna sit both of them. You're gonna sit Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker because we don't know who's gonna pop off or who's not gonna play. I wouldn't want anybody to have that headache of like having them on their roster and being the other side of the luck of that. Plus, I feel like, since Sam Darnold, it's a pass heavy offense. We got Cooper Cup with a start. We got JSN in there. We got AJ Barner as a tight end scoring. So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta sit those RBs down.
That's fair. And if you were to start one, honestly, I kind of want like Zach a little bit more because for some reason they keep giving him the ball in the end zone. Like they don't like Kenneth Walker at all. It's like they always want Charbonnet to fall into the end zone there. So yeah, definitely don't start Kenneth Walker. It's just so frustrating right now. All right, but on the other side of the ball, I'm going to go with Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, JCM versus the Seattle Seahawks as my running back sit. So you're basically going to sit all the running backs in this matchup. Well, it's just hard to trust JCM at this point. He's had a lot of duds, just very disappointing duds. And, I know he had that great game against the Chargers, I believe a couple weeks ago, but he just hasn't been able to get a lion's share of the touches consistently. And that really kind of affects his output right here. And, he's had double digits in PPR in 3 games, but he's had 1, 7, 5, 4, 2. And it's just not sustainable. It's just something you can't trust. And Seattle right now is 8th best against points allowed to running backs. So they're very tough as a defense. We know that. And, I kind of think of JCM as like candy corn. It looks super nice. It looks like great candy to have. And that's what everyone was kind of speculating in preseason. Everyone was hyping it up, right? But then when you actually taste it, it's not right. At least for me, it's too processed, too artificial. It doesn't work for me. So I'm sitting JCM.
Damn, that was rough, man. Not the boy Bill, who already has like a cotton name, I guess, right? Like a nickname.
Yep.
He's dressed up as Bill.
Bill Merritt.
Bill Merritt. I never liked that name. You have to have a weird name as a running back in order to be a good running back, right? You gotta have
What do you mean?
like Bijan Robinson, right? Christian McCaffrey. It's gotta be different. You can't be Bill. Is there a
His
Bill?
name is
there a
different, but
successful
that's
Bill?
fire. That Bill's his nickname.
No, Ja'Cory. You have to stick to your name. If you stick to your name, he'd probably have like double digits every week.
Well, maybe if his quarterback played, I think that'd help a lot, but...
Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, I'm going back to back here. I'm going to go with my wide receiver sit. I'm going Cortland Sutton versus the Houston Texans. Houston's the second best in points allowed to wide receivers this season. Derek Stingley Jr. is locking people up. Cortland Sutton, he's like licorice. Sometimes you're going to get the red licorice, and it's going to be nice and tasty, and it's just overall very consistent and good. This is a black licorice kind of game for Cortland Sutton. No one likes black licorice. Don't start him. He's going to disappoint for your team.
Man, talk about disappoint. I'm right there with you. I got a receiver with the hard matchup and Drake London against Christian Gonzalez, and I feel like we're seeing, same type of vibe here. Best corners, some of the best corners in the league against these good receivers, but that's enough to give them nightmares. The receivers don't want to see that, especially look at the track record of Christian Gonzalez. It's like a graveyard just full of all these little dead bodies and stuff, where he's got them all strapped up. So I like the matchup here. So I'm off London. I think he's also coming back from injury. I don't know which quarterback's going to play. It just sounds like a recipe for disaster, right? Like it's just everything you don't want. So get me off of that.
And Mooney, whenever Mooney is playing with London so far this season, London's numbers drop completely. So it's kind of
You got
risky.
to make sure you get Darnell the football, man.
I guess.
Wide receiver
I don't
one,
really
Mooney.
get it. No, definitely not.
That's not a thing. People don't say that where you're from.
I don't think they say that wherever anyone's from.
That might be fair. Well, that takes us to the very end here, and I have the most surprising pick of them all for the end here at tight end. Sit. I got Gadsden. I got everybody's favorite.
Ooh.
And you're like, what? The matchup is so great. You said Tennessee sucks. We all know Tennessee sucks. No one's disagreeing that point. But my whole thing is that I just feel like, they're not going to need to do much to get the lead. They're not going to get scored on much. And I think, look over the last few weeks, there's always a couple matchups where the team just kind of knows the other team can't score. So why do we need to continue pressing and pressing? Last week it was the Buccaneers. 2 weeks ago it was the Rams against the Ravens. And I think this week the Chargers scored 20 points and they'll be like, I don't think they'll pass 7. We won. It's that simple. So unless Gadsden's one of those first couple of touchdowns, it might be kind of like a start high, end low, game's done, and you're just like, might be the first 10 o'clock game done this weekend.
Yeah, that's pretty
For
hard.
Pacific time.
I mean, come on, guys. Are you guys acting like that's not a reality that could happen?
It's very realistic, honestly. Jamar, do you
facts.
agree?
It could either end like that or it can end on a game-winning field goal. There's no in between with this team.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to know who to trust. I mean, you got 4 receivers for the Chargers, right? So one of them is going to be poisonous every week, right? But we just don't know which one it is. It's like roulette, basically. And, maybe 2 of them aren't even good anymore. And, 2 of them are like, because Keenan didn't do that well either. He had 8 points. Quentin Johnson had 0. So, dangerous game. And, some desperate managers like me are going to have to play it. But I got a different sit at tight end, and it is Hunter Henry versus the Atlanta Falcons. Don't fall for the trap, guys. I know he caught a touchdown last week, but that's his only catch of the game on National Tight Ends Day. So they had to do it for him, right? They had to give him at least 1 touchdown. But the longer Hunter Henry is on your team, as the weeks go by, the more he sucks the power away from your entire scoring output. He's like Dracula, right? He's just feasting on the points, and the longer you keep him in that tight end starting spot, the worse he's going to get at this point. We've already had his peak games. He always performs in the first half of the season. Guess what? The second half of the season is about to start. He's about to fade away. Don't trust it. And given the fact that Atlanta is first against tight ends this year, it's a very tough defense. It's a very tough matchup. There's literally just no reason to start him.
Yeah, that felt very, very direct.
People need to stop falling for the trick. If I ever get a question of Hunter Henry or it's not Hunter Henry, okay? It doesn't matter who it is at this point. It could be AJ Barner, right? Yeah. Jonnu Smith. Yes, I'm going with Jonnu. Darnell Washington. I'm going Darnell. It's not Hunter Henry.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Well, I wonder what Hunter Henry did to Matt.
He sucked the blood out of my fantasy team. Before.
Oh.
And speaking of that, that was our starts and sits for week 9, by the way. If you want to see the full list of our starts and sits, you can go to our Twitter, you can go to our threads, sports_counsel. We will post a full list of our starts and sits every Saturday afternoon, and you can also ask any questions that you have on your start and sit decisions over there, and we will answer them. Again, follow our Discord or join our Discord as well. Link is in the bio for all of those. And we personally answer questions and create polls and whatnot there as well. So join, follow, subscribe, everything Sports Counsel. And now we're going to get into the spookiest part of our episode here. The fantasy horror stories. Ooh.
Gather around the campfire, kids.
Yes. So, we've been playing fantasy football for a very, very long time now. And we have war stories to tell, and some of these stories, some of these outcomes that we have witnessed and experienced ourselves personally over the years have been so terrifying that they even keep us up at night. Even though we're very strong, we're very capable, and we feel like we know everything, sometimes the scariest things happen in fantasy football. And we tell these stories not to scare you, but to make sure that you never see them yourself. So without further ado, G, why don't you share your story?
Well, thank you, Matt. Everybody gather around. Well, I do want to tell you this is something I'm actively dealing with. You might be like, what does that mean? Well, once upon a time, there was this team that had just came off a championship. They are feeling the top of the world. Start the next season off. What could go wrong? You win your first week. You win the second week. You win the third week. You pick the listener league topic. You win the fourth week. You're first place. You're 4-0. You're higher than anything. It's great. Life's good. And all of a sudden, you look around, and everything kind of slowly starts evaporating, like Thanos was there. But that wasn't the case. No, you just start losing week 5 to your own cousin. And then he does your podcast after the week.
And he bans you from it.
Bans you from your own podcast. And your co-host don't do nothing about it. Well, what could go worse? Then you lose to your arch rival the next week. And then hasn't texted in months in the chat. And decides, today I'm going to text and let my old friend know to go fuck himself. 4-2 at this point. And the next 2 weeks, the next 2 losses. That takes us 8 weeks through the season. And now I wake up and I think about how my team still sucks. And we're 4-4. This is the listener league I'm talking about. And you probably heard from the Nando earlier that this is what's going on here, but this is getting ugly. I started off 4-0, and I was first place. Everything was great. And they talked shit to Mitty, and I haven't won since. So, hopefully, this nightmare ends. I wake up, and I'm fine to go again. But till that day, I wake up in sweats at night. Like I often call Matt in panic, in disarray.
And blocked his number.
And that's it. I don't know what else to tell you. That was just last night.
Damn. Have you won in October yet? Is this like a whole month thing?
Yeah, I don't think I've won yet, so
Dang.
yeah.
Well,
Very haunting.
If you win on Sunday, it's an October thing, and you just have to avoid October, playing fantasy football in October for the foreseeable future. Or you shit-talked Mitty, and he put some kind of Romanian curse on you, and you're going to have to find a way to break that spell. That's my counsel for you.
Well, I hope that works. I've tried everything. I've had some urban rituals done and had some herbal medicines taken, but nothing's done it.
Damn.
More sage.
But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Share a story. Why don't you guys?
All right. Well, G, I'm sorry to hear about your very unfortunate month of October and how unsuccessful it has been. It pales in comparison to my story here. And this isn't just a story of a month. It isn't just a story of a year. It is the story of my fantasy football career. And it is a very unfortunate reputation you gain when you are referred to as the Kyle Shanahan of fantasy football.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh. I am a great fantasy football player, and that's what I believe in. I run a podcast, and I host a podcast where I talk about fantasy football every week. I do all the research. I look at the stats. I look at the matchups. I consume content from a bunch of different sources to try to get the edge on players. Oronde Gadsden II, I knew about him. Woody Marks, I've known about him since summer, right? And I try to tell you guys all of this to help you win your fantasy football championships. But that doesn't mean I can save myself from my own fate. I believe personally that I have been cursed by the fantasy football gods themselves to live without a championship for the rest of my days. And no matter how good my team is, I've always somehow found a way to blow it in the championship. It started all the way back in 2018, I recall. I think it was our first year of playing fantasy football in college between me, Gavin, Nando. I was in the championship. I had Ezekiel Elliott back in his prime. You know what I mean? I think I had Drew Brees, Michael Thomas. He was, a GOAT back then. And I was going up against Todd Gurley and his team. He had a great team as well. But guess what? Todd Gurley was out that fantasy championship. And he didn't even switch him out of his lineup. I thought I was in the clear. But then all of a sudden, and I still remember it. It's been what? It's been 7 years? Yes. This is why we're saying it haunts our brains to this day. Because I remember it as clear as day 7 years later. Kyle Rudolph, his tight end, catches a Hail Mary in the end of the first half. It's a throwaway Hail Mary, and Kyle Rudolph catches it. Swings the entire game. And then on Sunday Night Football, Chris Carson, he has one player left. I have nobody left. Chris Carson, at the last second of Seahawks Chiefs, barrels in for a touchdown. I lose by 0.4. And I am devastated. But I somehow make my way back to the championship 2 years later. I face a different team completely. This time I have a great stack again. I've got Derrick Henry. I've got A.J. Brown. 2 Titans leading my team to victory. But Derrick Henry in the cold of Green Bay in Sunday Night Football fails. And Devontae Adams, who's on the other team, scores a touchdown. I lose another championship. In the same league. I don't think I'm ever slated to win a championship. In that league, in the Listener League, I haven't even gotten to the championship in the Listener League, but I really hope to with my young men. But I just don't see it happening. Because much like Kyle Shanahan this year, I'm cursed with injuries. Hampton's out, Worthy's been hurt, Nico's been hurt, Pearsall's been hurt. I think I'm just the Kyle Shanahan of fantasy football. And what's worse than, having a fate where you lose forever? Just not feeling like you ever have a chance.
Ooh.
That was very, very horrific.
This is the same thing that I say to my therapist every month as well. Same story.
Great scary story. That was very haunting. But have you ever had a dream and a nightmare all in one night? Well, this is what I have for my story. It was Christmas week coming into New Year's Eve. It was the championship game for the Listener League and my money league that we all in. And this is from last year. And it all comes down to one game, one night, Monday Night Football. Lions versus 49ers. I have 2 teams, 2 fantasy teams in the championships. 5 names come into play for that one game. Jahmyr Gibbs, Brock Purdy, Juwan Jennings, Sam Laporta, and Isaac Guerrero. All 5 players meant something to my life, to my year, to my Christmas, to my fantasy legacy. And all throughout the week, it was looking great. I was feeling on top of the world. Monday through Monday. Monday through the upcoming Monday. My team was doing well. We were in the lead for most of the week. And I still get sleepless nights. I still think about it to this day. I still think about what ifs. What if my team had 2 more yards? When both of your fantasy teams are in the championship, you at least can win one, right? That's not what happened here, folks. in one league, my team lost by 0.2 in the championship. 0.2. Do you know what that means? 2 yards. I needed 2 yards.
Someone else won by 0.2, and now is the champion of that league.
This is not your story. This is mine.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
We're not talking about happy days. We're talking about my sad year. 0.2. I needed 2 yards from somebody, to get me a win, or at least a tie. And listener league, and that was a listener league, and I took the loss to heart, but it wasn't as dreadful as the money league that I lost. I think I lost by 1 point, and that really hurt the soul because it all came down to one play. One more pass from Joshua Dobbs to Jawan Jennings. He throws it up in the air. It's like a heaven sent angel is coming down, and then when it comes down, the ball, and I see Jawan Jennings reaching for it. It's all in slow motion. It's becoming a nightmare right when the ball comes, and he's out of reach. And my whole New Year, my whole Christmas becomes a nightmare. And now, that's all I can think about. Losing 2 games, 2 fantasy leagues, 2 championships by 2 yards, by 1 point. I don't think I will ever have a worse fantasy championship day of my life.
Yet.
No, ever. Never.
Wasn't Gibbs on one of your teams? And then Gibbs was against you on another one?
It's crazy. Yeah, I did have Gibbs on one team, and I was going against Gibbs on another team. So that's why I said it was a dream and a nightmare, because I'm cheering, yet I'm not cheering, because I'm going back and forth on who's winning.
And yet somehow you managed to lose both, even though the combination of Gibbs on both teams, like even if Gibbs went off, and I think he did in that game, you lose that one championship. But then you should win the other championship. But then you weren't able to.
No.
Yeah.
Man.
That sucks, man. That's like one of those scary stories where it's actually kind of funny and like maybe like scary.
Oh, like your October month? Yeah.
Yeah, no, fuck you. That's serious shit. What's that one movie, Scary Movie 3 or something, Scary Movie 2, all those ones where it's not really scary and it's just kind of like has the name of it. That was kind of like your story, Jamar. It's not that scary. I kind of liked it.
I mean, it does involve you somehow, but like, why am I back here in this pod again? No, I'm just playing.
I think, honestly, if I were to rank them, I mean, personally, mine is obviously the worst. But, gee, you had a bad month. Everyone has a bad month. I'm going to have a bad month, probably, coming up.
I hope so.
Not facts. I know. I need my month come up.
Damn. Well, those are your fantasy frightful stories. Hope you were properly terrified, and we pray and hope that these never happen to you.
Yeah, I mean, I wish better for you, but I'm sure you guys all have your own horror stories.
Yeah, feel free to share them, by the way. We want to hear more misery. We hope that it's just not us that's, always getting miserable out here. So share it, commiserate, and sometimes, sharing is caring. Makes you feel better.
The trauma share.
Trauma.
Oh yeah,
dump.
trauma
bonds.
Trauma bond, trauma dump. Let's relate. There's no way one of y'all can relate to mine, but we'll see.
All right, well, that is going to do it for today's very spooky Halloween episode. Once again, you can follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts from. We're also on YouTube. We got upload episodes there as well. Follow us on Twitter, Threads, Sports_Counsel, and join the Discord links in the bio. That's it for today's show. We're going to go out trick-or-treating now, right?
Yeah, we're going to go to Gab's house.
Are we old enough?
For what? For what?
Some diddling.
To hand out candy. Yeah, we're handing out candy today. This week.
Yeah, I think I got to end this show now. All right. See ya.